This week, we're going to start with the idea of pausing before you do something. Actually taking a proper pause. And I think we probably should start
with the person who's really bad at it.
Yes, we should start with a pause.
Oh, okay. Go on then, you organise the pause.
Okay, right. So I just want you to sit in your chair, nice and upright. Close your eyes if you want to. And you just have to be aware of where you are. And then just let your body be still. Let your mind be still. And then let your heart be still. So you now should feel ready for action. The idea is that you leave behind what we were doing before we started this, before we got into this room, and be ready for whatever's ahead. Come to it freshly.
Yes. I must say, whenever I go to something and they say, let's all, have a pause before we start, I always think, can't we just get on with it? But then after the pause, I do feel it's quite nice to end one thing and start another. And I do feel more into it. And I almost feel slightly more energized. It's like during that 10 seconds, you're pulling back the elastic band and it's ready to go at the end of the 10 seconds.
I'm not sure that's quite what we're supposed to be doing, pulling back the elastic band. We're supposed to be letting the elastic band relax so that we can pull it once we get started.
Yeah, that's probably better, isn't it? And I must admit, when you said we were going to do pausing, I just thought, oh no, because I do find it really difficult. I'm naturally impatient. I'm an impatient person. So to have to wait for anything, like, pause before you eat your food. And it's there. It's in front of me. And we have to stop and give thanks for it. Or it really goes against my grain. And I kind of pride myself on being quick to react, be able to answer things quickly.
Yes.
And so this whole thing about pausing really goes against my grain. But I actually can feel the benefit. I have to say, I think it's, if you could develop a habit. Have you actually managed to make it a habit that because I keep forgetting to do it. Do you do it then?
I will confess I'm not always good at doing it, but I certainly do it when I've got something important to happen. It gives you a chance to take on a bit of extra oxygen. There's loads of different ways that people pause, by taking breathing and, just quietening yourself down. But certainly, if you can manage to stop, I really like that body be still, mind be still, heart be still.
Yeah.
Because that just scans your body and then you can just wake up and start again.
So how would it actually work? So you mean you would do it, say, before a phone call or before sitting down to write something or before you cook a meal or something?
In theory, you should do it before anything. Another good one, we're back to cars again, but is to just pause before you start your car.
So you sit in your car and before you put the key in.
Yeah, just...
Because as you know, my BMW annoys me because I jump in, turn the key, drive off, and the clutch slips a bit just for the first 5 seconds. And when I complained to BMW, they said, you're supposed to get in, start it. You're meant to give it a few seconds before you pull away.
There we go.
And it wants me to pull, even my car is telling me to slow down. I guess it would be good. So you'd get in your car and you would just savor it for a moment. And maybe you could think how lucky I am to have this lovely car and to be able to, rather just get in and drive, just think, I'm going to drive my car now and my life's pretty good. And that might be a good way to get more enjoyment from every day.
And you were talking about earlier about food, you were saying about pausing before you eat your food. So that's another moment of just gratitude as well. Just to realise where you are and what you're doing and just appreciate it.
The food thing, I've always thought that that's a bit religious. And obviously some people are religious and some people aren't. And why should I thank God if I don't believe in him, sort of thing. Okay. But of course it isn't that, is it? It's just thanking life. It's like being grateful for the fact that we have got a load of food on our plate.
And the fact that every single thing that you eat has come a long way for various reasons. So just an apple has been grown by the earth and it's been chopped down by a person.
That snail has come all the way up the garden to my back door. No, but you're right. Everything's come
and so
way.
there's lots of, there's like there's a world in an apple, just eating an apple. So when you've got something more complicated, like a curry, then that's even more to be grateful for.
Yes.
But the pause just means that you think about that and you don't take things for granted. That's really what it's looking for.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is that you're looking to start things afresh, to come to it new, to meet people as if for the first time, to just come into a situation and not bring all your judgments with you, or try not to.
But just sticking with the food though, before we go to people.
Sorry.
So I'm thinking we'd get more happiness because we're grateful for the fact that we're lucky enough to have a plate of food, and lots of people aren't. We'd probably notice the food more as well, the colours and the flavours of it and things if we pause a bit.
Yeah.
So we'd probably get more out of it as well. And we'd be more living in the now rather than eating the food, thinking about what we're going to do after the meal and thinking ahead about tomorrow and things. We just be in that moment. And happiness can only come from the present, can't it? From the moment, not from the future. So this pausing thing will increase our happiness in quite a few different ways.
I think so. And also you can do it, and then you don't have to be not necessarily then thinking all the way through the meal, but it started you off on the right track.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about the fact that you had to run here or you had to shout for the children or whatever.
Right. So it takes away the past as well as the future. Because we had another example recently. We went to see a film in the cinema.
Yes.
And when you go into the cinema, especially if you do what I do and try to time it so you arrive just at the end of the adverts and just before the film starts, which is quite stressful.
Yeah.
You go in and you're watching the film, but you're still thinking a little bit about, where you parked and what else has happened today and things. But if you pause and say, right, here we are, we're going to watch a film now. Yeah. Let's really enjoy the film. You kind of switch off the past and you say, I'm not going to think about the future. I'm going to be totally in the moment watching this film.
Yeah. Or it's giving you, and it's giving you a really good chance of being able to do that because you're doing it consciously. It's the usual coming into the moment, being aware.
So it sounds really easy to do.
It is really easy to do.
It is.
As we've just demonstrated.
Yeah. So why don't I always do it? Why doesn't everyone always do it? Do they just not know about it?
You have to remember to do it because you've had a habit of your whole life of not doing it. So you have to change a habit that's quite deeply ingrained. Somebody gave me, I've had a couple of things. One bit of advice somebody gave me about it was that when you think about it, you must do it. So when you think, oh, I must remember to do the pause, then do the pause right then. So that as soon as your brain thinks about it, you do it. And another way you could do it is every time you do a particular thing, you remind yourself to pause, and then it will become more of a habit. So like every time you open a door, every time you touch a doorknob, think, right, I'm just going to pause a moment before I actually open the door. And then again, that will become a habit that's linked with something.
Or before you brush your teeth or something.
Before you brush your teeth, yeah.
Welcome the day.
Or even back to the bigger thing, which is before I eat my food, I'm just going to pause. Before I actually start.
And there's another whole category of pausing, isn't there? Which is pausing before you do anything when you're angry. Typing that angry email or whatever. And you should definitely pause and think, is this a good idea?
Yeah.
Or even just reacting to a person. Somebody who hoots their car horn at you or in the street or anything, you should pause before you react and say something.
You pause and remember a previous episode, love is the natural in between.
Yes, that's right, yeah. So I definitely think it's good. I'm just wondering whether there are any times when you wouldn't pause. Like, for example, if you had to make a really difficult phone call, one of the procrastination techniques is just to dial the number and make the call before you've had a chance to think about why it might be a bad idea. But I guess what you should do is decide you're going to do the call, but then maybe pause and just think, this person might be, love is the natural in between. This person might be really nice. I'm going to make the call. it could be a difficult call, but it won't be because they're going to be fine.
Yeah,
and maybe getting yourself into the right frame of mind would be a good pause to do before the call.
And it doesn't have to be very long. You don't have to do a great long
Yes.
distance of time. I've got a little Sanskrit word that I like to use, which I use a lot, which is atta, which actually means new beginnings, a new start, a rather auspicious beginning of things. So you can use that as a pause to actually start you off in a new moment.
You mean you just say to yourself in your mind, this is an atta. I'm having an atta.
Yeah,
now.
well, you just say atta, which is just a starting word. It means this is the beginning.
It's funny because it's not a very relaxing word, like pause. I'm going to be atta. Right, now I can do my phone call.
Well, it just is a point of starting. I'm thinking of you and your person who's going to make the difficult call.
Yeah.
So I agree with you that they don't want to hang around having decided to do it, but they can just have something short and just go, right, here I go. I'm diving into it now.
Yes.
And just feel a bit more refreshed.
So there's not really any situation where you wouldn't benefit from a brief pause before you do it.
No, probably moving out of the way of a moving car or something like that. Yes. You might be better to just get on with it and do it.
You can have a pause afterwards and give thanks for your life and the fact you're still alive.
So I do think it just is really, it's really simple. It's really helpful, and it certainly brings me a lot of comfort.
Yes. Yeah, I think that sounds absolutely brilliant. I'm just, as a final thing, I'm just trying to think of any time when you wouldn't. Because I know that when people have been asked what they regret about their lives, they say it's things they didn't do.
Okay.
And I wonder whether there might be things where you would pause and then decide not to do something. But it's always got to be a good idea to think, hasn't it?
It's going to be helpful.
So if you were thinking of, let's say, emigrating to Australia, let's say.
Yes, that might need quite a big pause.
Yeah,
I
mean, people regret not emigrating when they had the chance or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you're thinking about whether to emigrate or not, pausing is more likely to prevent you regretting. If you really stop and think about it carefully and make the right decision, you won't have those regrets later, will you? Mm. So pausing is not going to... I mean, it might stop you diving into something, but then you're probably going to regret the things you dived into, aren't you? So I can't see any snag with pausing. It's just giving your brain
a chance to think. I watched a little clip, as you do on Instagram the other day, which was talking about emotions, and she had a whole load of threads, all different colours, and they were all tangled up and messy. And she said, the harder you pull, the more tangled they get. You need to just chill out and then feel the feels and stuff. But I was thinking that also fits with fits with the pause. Mm. A pause.
Yes, rather than rushing in and trying to...
Yeah, just think, okay, I feel really angry now. Why do I feel angry? Just, is this the right thing to do? It's just a helpful moment.
It would actually work on almost all negative emotions, wouldn't it? Because if you sort of feel really jealous of somebody, just to pause and think, well, maybe, is it going to be helpful being jealous? And maybe they deserve it.
No,
and,
exactly.
Or whatever. So I think, or if you're really worried about something, just to pause and think, is this an unfounded fear, really?
Yeah.
What's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah. You might find it is a founded fear. It might be that you really do have to do something quickly.
Yeah, but you should definitely pause and think it through.
Yeah.
Rather than just letting the fear flow in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Well, there we are. So pausing, so it's going to help with negative emotions, and it's going to help with living in the present more.
Yeah.
I like it.
And lots of gratitude. So go for it.
Right. So
and it's not hard. Just take a little bit of time.
It's a really practical technique and one I've never heard of before. So that is pausing. I'd like to say to anybody, if they found that interesting, please do like the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, tell your friends about it, give us some stars. We'll do a quote in a minute. But do pass the message on. And remember, you can get this on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever. So, pass the message. Let's do a quote to finish with. I'm going to pass this to Sally, who's going to read out our weekly quote.
Okay.
I'm hoping there's going to be one by me one day.
I forgot, by the way, to show you my lovely watch, which just says now. As a way to remember.
What time is it? It's
now. Now is all the time you've got.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wore that specially and forgot to show you. So what have we got today? Right. Put your glasses on, Grandma. That's what Cleo always says to me. Right. The person born with a talent they are meant to use will find their happiness in using it. The person born with a talent they are meant to use will find their happiness in using it. So that's quite tricky, isn't it? Because you've got to find your talent.
Well, and there is a school of thought that says that everybody has a talent if they can only find it.
Yeah.
Everybody's got some sort of talent. And quite often people who are really bad at something have a talent that's really huge in the other direction. And even people who are, for example, are blind often have an amazing ear for music or whatever. And so everything has its flip side. And so allegedly everyone has a talent and you've got to find it.
Yeah.
And if you can find it, it will make you happy.
Uncover it.
Oh, and who was that? Sounds like it might be Goethe.
No. Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, I cheated. I looked at the piece of paper. I wouldn't have known it was Goethe, but I don't even know who Goethe is exactly. But I do really like that quote. Well done, Goethe, whoever you are.
I was so impressed for a moment.
I shouldn't have confessed, should I? But anyway, right, that's all we've got time for this week. We will see you next week.
Yes.
I hope you've enjoyed it. Bye for now, everybody.
Stay happy-ish.
Bye.